right, here we go again. We got another comment. And there's got to be truth in this for it to be said on a reoccurring basis. Back on the video I made called Receding Hairline, Dealing with Wind and Rain. I've already made one comment talking about the hat. Here's another one. Grammy, if I'm pronouncing it right, had this to say, quote, Nick, I love you, but that is a 1940s paperboy hat. Ball caps are cool, end quote. So this is a reoccurring theme here I'm starting to see. And you can imagine, let's sort out the demographics here, right? How old are you? You're a teenager or you're in your early 20s. Fact. How old am I? 36 and a half. I'm not that far away from being in my late 30s. And as you know, I'm married and have 2 kids. So I'm in a different place in life, and I get that. I'm probably at least twice as much older than you. I accept that. So it makes sense on a surface level that, you know what, I'm gonna gravitate more towards something like this as compared to a ball cap. I wear ball caps all the time when I wear hats, but when I'm making videos and when I'm gonna be photographed, this is one of my favorite hats to wear. It's so much part of my identity. I've had this since the year 2000, which some of you might not have been born when I bought this hat. But here's what I want to sort out here. More so than the fact that I'm older than you is the fact, and I've said this more than once, it's all about aging with grace. And it's about me personally not fearing getting older. I'm not afraid of getting older. I'm a vegan. That's going to help my health and keep me from, proportionally compared to other people, it's going to help prevent me from getting diabetes and becoming overweight and getting cancer on a much proportional higher level than the other guys my age. And I know that. And that's one of the reasons I do that. I am a creator, not a consumer. So I would rather outsmart the system. I would rather unplug and be woke. Okay? We get all that. We understand all that. But here's the thing. And I'm sure Robert would quickly back me up. Undeniably, part of me is an old man to begin with. Like, I identify with it. There's this timeless old world part of me, you know, and on this romantic fantasized version of what I'm saying here, I'd like to think that it goes back to all my old world roots, wherever they go. You know, I've got, my grandparents came in from Italy, but they were really Middle Eastern and Jewish, and there's all that going on, and of course Spanish, and so there's like all this old school part of me, and it's like, it's my way of my showing reverence to everyone in my family tree who's already moved on to get me here as an American. But I don't know, I love embracing that old, not old school, but old world, embracing the old world. And therefore, like, I celebrate becoming a man. I am a man, but I celebrate becoming an older man, a middle-aged man. There's no shame in me losing my hair. That's part of the journey of me becoming more of a man than I already am, you know? And I've said before that as you age as a man, there's two options. And the first one I think is a stereotypical one, is that men become bitter and close-minded to new ideas. And I've said before, I'll die as the most open-minded old man you've ever met, you know? Now, granted, I'm grounded in my beliefs. I know what I believe, and I have those moral codes, and everything is ultimately greater or less than as I make these decisions. But I'm going to be an open-minded old man. So while I'll always be youthful, I'll also always be old man, and I'm happy about that. I think a lot of it too comes from my grandfather, who I always thought was Italian. They take the DNA test, find out he was Jewish and Middle Eastern, but he had, it's funny, he always wore flannel. He didn't really wear hats, but he always wore flannel. But he had that, and I grew up around that, and I was exposed to that, even as random as it was, that I grew up in a small town called Fort Payne, Alabama, and that grandfather listened to country music. But that's who he was, and I think without even realizing it, I'm becoming him. And my sister has said more than once, she says, you are starting to look like Papa Matello more and more as you get older, you know. And as I get older, compared me to when I was 20, you know, how do I look different? It's funny because I can see how probably my nose has grown a little bit. I don't know, my skin seems darker, maybe just because I'm outdoors more now. But I've kind of adopted his persona without even realizing, maybe even until I started making this video 5 minutes ago. As I'm talking it out, I'm realizing that. I am embracing the old world. I'm embracing the old man. And I think that's a good thing as it comes to hair loss, because I'm not fearing getting older. I'm not fearing the physical changes that happen. As long as I'm taking care of myself and I'm healthy, then I'm doing what I can do to manage that. So I do think it's funny, though, that more than one viewer and subscriber has said, Nick, you got to lose the hat. But what's funny is it's becoming part of more, it's always been part of my identity, but man, I really, and it's not that I'm wearing the hat just to like spite people, like, hey, I'm going to keep wearing this hat because you hate it. Maybe part of it is that. But I just really feel me, and not in a way to hide my hair loss, because I keep taking it off to show, all right, I keep doing that as almost as an obligation. See, But I do think having a good hat is part of your identity. And that's the thing. It's like an avatar, If I want this to be my avatar and you wear yours, your ball cap, whether it's a sports team or whether it's not, whatever it says on it, maybe Fort Collins, Colorado, where you visited, I don't know, last summer, whatever it is. It's funny though. I defend this hat. It's part of my identity. It reflects so much about who I am and the idea of who I think I am and how I grew up. So the main thing is, when you do have your hat and you don't hide under it, but you can enhance your identity as a man who's dealing with hair loss, but at the same time not hiding underneath it. You just do what works for you. This is what works for me, not because I'm twice your age, but for all those cultural reasons that I've already said. So those are my thoughts. I'm okay with you hating my hat. It's totally okay. The only thing is I can't promise I'm gonna not wear it again. I'll probably promise I'm gonna be wearing it a lot more. If nothing else, because I don't work anymore. I'm home with my daughter. So when she's napping, I'm making these videos. Like I haven't even eaten breakfast. It's like what, 9:40? I had some water. I barely had a chance to use the bathroom. So do you think I had a chance to take a shower yet? Of course not. Throw in the flannel shirt, throw in the hat, I'm good to go. That's probably one of the major reasons I'm wearing it right now. Because it looks cool too. And hey, one more thing. Back when I did work and I was around guys in their late 20s and early 30s and older, what do they all say when I wear this hat? Nick, where'd you get that hat? That is an awesome hat. So I get that part of it is that when you're in your teens and early 20s, you're not going to think this hat's cool. I get that. But this hat transcends all of that. It's my nod to the old world where my ancestors came from.